welcome to another episode of The Homestand, the official podcast of the Kansas City Royals. I'm your host, Carrie Lipper-Gillespie, and I am thrilled for our guest today. Welcome, everyone, Royals bench coach Paul Hoover. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We are excited to chat with you. We're excited for the fans to get to know you a little bit more because you're new. You're a new kid in town, but the good thing is that there's a lot of other new kids in town, and you guys are all taking it in and settling in. So we're happy to have you here.
Yeah, I'm super excited about the opportunity. Like you said, join all the other new guys and get to learn the players, learn the organization, as well as the fans in the city of Kansas City.
Yeah. Now I want to start out by saying that you are a Midwest guy, Ohio native, correct?
Yes, born and raised, both born in Columbus and raised in Steubenville, Ohio, and still my daughters are still back in Ohio.
Okay. And went to Kent State, which is also Ohio, just outside of Akron.
Yep. Interesting story there. My 16-year-old daughter has got a women's Division I basketball scholarship offer to go play there.
That's amazing.
It was kind of surreal last year going on campus with her walking through the campus as they were trying to recruit her. So
now, you went there and you played baseball. Were there other things that you played growing up, other sports?
Yeah, up until, I was soccer early, football, baseball, basketball, and then in high school it was just basketball and baseball.
Yeah. And was that the goal right off the bat? Did you grow up wanting to play professional baseball, or did you grow up just being like, well, we'll see where it takes me?
I grew up wanting to play one of the three.
Yeah.
Whether it was football, basketball, or baseball, and I didn't know how the odds or anything in that magnitude. But I just grew up loving sports and enjoying playing them. And then as I got older, I realized that it wasn't going to be basketball. It was probably going to be baseball, and kind of took off from there.
Yeah, took off from there. We'll get more into that. I want to talk some about your upbringing because you are fluent in sign language, and that is because both your parents are deaf, and so that's something that you had to get used to at a young age, and I feel like it's probably shaped your communication skills and how important communication is to you. Can you tell us some about that?
Yeah, first I would say my parents are going to be super excited that you asked this question. So they're going to learn when they'll love you that you asked and get to talk about it. But they don't have the sense of hearing, but they've been able to use other skills, whether it's feeling the room or their eyes or reading lips or body language. And I feel like I have learned how to do that. Not anything they taught me, but just learned how to do that. So when I'm in a room, or my sister is in the other room and she doesn't have to say, but I kind of feel or know what's going on, and it kind of holds true to body language with players or the opposing team, and just kind of see how they're handling situations or try to feel what's going on. But it is certainly something that's benefited me both playing and coaching.
Yeah. I've heard a rumor that you're a master lip reader. Do you have a story or two to share about that?
No, I guess my story would be like I was hitting. I wasn't a very good player, but I was hitting. They were on the mound. Pitching coach was telling the pitcher to throw me a fastball inside, and I read the lips and I was ready to hit it. And I think I hit a double, but that was really good for me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. And did he not? There was no he didn't put his hand up.
Yeah, that's back in the day. They were just talking freely, right? But now with cameras and jumbotrons, they cover up a little bit more. So no, he just kind of was just talking, and I read his lips, and I was able to take advantage.
I love that story. That's incredible. You say that you weren't very good. First of all the coaches we've had on here, Q said he wasn't very good. Sweeney said he wasn't. You guys all come on here and I wasn't very good. So I just want to say, making it as a pro is so hard, and your chances of getting there are so small. You guys got to give yourself some credit. You were good enough to get drafted by the Rays, and you did have a pretty great career. I don't know where you come off saying you weren't very good.
Well, let me first by saying Q was not a very good player. I'll start by that. But no, with me, I got drafted. I played for a long time. I was a shortstop when I got drafted. Luckily for me, Tom Foley, Bill Evers in the Tampa organization converted me to a catcher, which allowed me to stick around a lot longer than if I was a shortstop. My skills were just better behind the plate, better served behind the plate than at shortstop. Ended up playing for a while and doing fine. I was sitting at dinner last night, honestly, to be just sitting here man, I can't believe I'm a bench coach for the Kansas City Royals and where I've come from and what I've done. And it's the baseball path and the career that I had has led me to this point. So yeah, I'm super thankful and appreciative, but so-so player. I'll give a so-so.
All right. We'll leave it at that, but
Okay.
I won't confirm. The other thing I want to ask you about is that I saw you made your major league debut just a few days before September 11th. Can you tell me what that was like and if the magnitude of it? I mean, achieving your dream is huge in some regard, but at some point you had to be like, gosh, it's so much bigger than baseball.
I think it was the 8th.
Yep.
I think it was the 8th in Oakland, but the season in Durham ended a week before that, and I didn't do anything for a week. The only thing I did was play tennis like 2 times, and I don't play tennis, but it was just I was just playing like I wasn't doing anything. Then all of a sudden, I think John Flaherty got hurt in Oakland. They called me on a Friday night. All my equipment was down in Florida because I was going to go to the instructional league before I came out here for the Arizona Fall League. They called me, said I was going to the big leagues. So I went to the big leagues after not doing anything for a week with all my gear in Florida. I show up with nothing, and we were getting smoked. Like I don't know exactly what it was, but we were getting beat pretty good. And they called down, told me I was going to hit with 2 outs and end up making my debut that day. Next day we played, flew home. I think we had an off day, and then September 11th happened, and it was. I obviously didn't know the magnitude of what was happening in the moment. Obviously, as we reflect, we know how big of a deal that was. So it was, in hindsight, it was my debut was really, really cool. And then to know what took place after that was, changed our world.
Yeah, leaves a mark on you. You had the opportunity to catch some really, really incredible pitchers. I'm just going to name some of them here. Cliff Lee, Roy Halladay, Pedro Martinez. Those are huge names, Cy Young winners. That's just cool. I just want to have a moment for that. What is your, remembrance of those times?
They were all extremely hard workers.
Yeah.
They were very meticulous in the way they went about their business, whether it's preparing or whether it's bullpen day or the day of the game. But they were business. They got to the field early. They worked. They were very intelligent about the game. They were very intellectual about their hitters and what they wanted. They knew themselves. So they were farther in their career, and they've had the ups and downs throughout the beginning parts of their younger days. And they were incredible humans as well as pitchers.
Yeah, that's awesome. When you get guys like that are kind of on another level, how much are they calling the shots as the pitcher, and how much are you talking back and forth with them? At the end of the day, I feel like some of those guys, they know their stuff better than anyone. So it kind of becomes a communication thing with you as the catcher, them as the pitcher. How much does that factor into it?
A lot, not a lot. I mean, especially somebody like me, I was back and forth between the big leagues and AAA, so I didn't have a lot of reps with them, or they weren't as necessarily comfortable with me behind the plate.
Yeah.
So there was a learning curve of just trying to get up to speed with how they did things and what they wanted to do, whether that's me communicating with the other catchers as well as watching video.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely took the lead and dictated what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I just tried to carry out their game plan.
Yeah, just try and be a sponge. Now, did you always picture yourself making the transition to coaching? Was that something that, as your career goes on, you were thinking about, or were you just trying to play and kind of wash your hands of baseball and be done with it? What was your plan?
I didn't really have one. As I got deeper into my career, the coaches in the game would tell me, what are you going to do after? We think you'll be really good at this. What do you want to do? And I was still trying to play, and my agent was calling around. I was hanging on at the end, and my agent was calling around. Wow, we don't want him as a player, but when he's done playing, we want him as a coach. And I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And then unfortunately, my hip, I just couldn't do it health-wise, and got back in with Tampa, where it all started as a player. And Mitch Lukovich was the one that brought me in, and kind of I just was like, I want to manage for a couple years. Now I want to be the catching coordinator. And I said I want to get to the big leagues, and then what happens from the big leagues, I don't know, right? And here I am now, as a field coordinator the last 4 years with Tampa, and now the bench coach. Is kind of
Mm-hmm.
happening the way I thought, but I didn't know really how fast or how long. I didn't have a time frame. I just said I was going to try it for a couple years, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it ended up pretty good, I'd have to say. Now, talk about a backhanded compliment, then being like, well, we don't want him as a player, but if we could get him for a coach.
Well, like I said,
kind of like, thanks, but.
Yeah, like I said, like so-so player.
Yeah.
And towards the end, it was more like a not so good of a player.
Well, it seems to me that a lot of catchers go on to be coaches and managers. I've talked to a lot of them here in this organization. Why do you think that position translates so well to being a manager or, a leader in other ways?
I think a couple of things, but I mean, you're watching the whole diamond, right? So you see everything that's going on. You have to know what everybody's doing on certain plays or where everybody needs to be. So as you do that as a player, you're getting reps. So when you move into coaching, that's what you've done your whole career. So you see all these things, and then leading a pitching staff and learning how to deal with pitchers. Pitchers and position players are different, right? And the catchers are more gravitate towards the position players, but you also have to gravitate towards the pitchers to develop that relationship. So being able to deal with multiple kind of personalities, people on both sides, seeing, and I think as you get into coaching, that's kind of the same qualities or that you need to have to be successful. And I think that might be some of the reason.
I think you're right. I think it translates really well, and I think your take on it is perfectly correct. I would love to hear about your relationship with Q because you guys played together.
Yeah.
In Durham.
We went way back. I think he was drafted in '96. I was drafted in '97. He was always a year ahead of me, but unfortunately for him, and he was a good hitter, and he was a good player, but unfortunately for him, he was always hurt, and it was some freak accidents, like he's throwing on the left field line, somebody hits a ball, hits him in the jaw, he's out.
Oh my gosh, that is a freak accident.
Yeah. I mean, he missed significant amount of time because of injury, so therefore I end up like catching him, so to speak, passing him, so to speak.
Yeah.
But he was an incredible teammate. He's an incredible person, as you guys probably already know. Incredible teammate. The first day but the first spring training I was catching, and I didn't know him really that well at all. And we were kind of competing because we were both catchers in the organization, and he was helping me, like trying to teach me the position and things that I should do or not do. And then, like I said, like at the end when we were in Durham, he was more starting to go into coaching, and I was really trying to figure out what I was doing. And fortunately for me, I ended up playing another, 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, that's incredible and amazing that your relationship has spanned that amount of time. And to know, if you went back to Durham, if you were in your shoes then, would you ever have thought that you and Q would be here 20 plus years later, you know what I mean, coaching together, being at the head of this staff here?
Oh, no, it's crazy. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? It's insane.
Yeah. I want to talk some about how much you specialize in catching and why that's really your sweet spot. Obviously, because you were a catcher, so you have the experience, but you've learned a lot about pitching in that time because the catchers are working in conjunction with the pitchers. How was, developing that skill as a player, but then to go on and teach? There's a lot of players that are really good, but they don't have that teaching ability.
I have a passion about what I do. I think being a convert, being a shortstop first, and then learning the position and not really grasping it, right away, thinking I was grasping it, but not really grasping it until towards the end. And then getting into coaching is just kind of like the guys that I've been around with, the Gary Tucks of the world. That's kind of taught me the ways, and then you have your own spin on it, and you have a model, so to speak, and then you just kind of deviate from it through reps, through experience, and just have a passion about it and care about the guys. It's a tough position, and just enjoy working with the guys and trying to help guys get better. And it is my main area of expertise, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. But I have a lot of fun doing it, and I'm hopeful that I'll be able to impact the guys here in Kansas City.
I don't want to get in the X's and O's too much here, but how exciting is it to work with Salvi behind the plate?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
His credentials speak for itself. What he's done in this game is incredible. He's welcomed me with open arms. He's tried. All I ask him to do is we're just going to try new things, and things might work, things might not work, but you just be open and try. And he's been super incredible in handling everything with the smile that he has, and It's only been a couple days. I did fly down to Miami in the off season to spend a little time with them, but it's only been a couple days, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to get to work with him for a whole season.
Yeah, he's a gem. We're so proud to have him here. Now, you've had a lot of roles in your coaching career. You were just a straight up manager, catching coordinator, field coordinator. How have each of those roles prepared you for the role now as bench coach?
I mean, they're pretty much all of them in one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the GCL manager was more like glorified babysitting because that's the truth. They're
very young.
They're getting 18-year-olds
Yeah.
to 21-year-olds, and the 21s that are in college have already been there and done that, but now they're on their own. They got a little bit more money. So I was just trying to teach them what time to be on stretch. You try to teach them what time to shower or how to shower after the game. Just eat, like, right, lift. Catching coordinator, obviously the area of expertise, my reps in doing that, so that helps you as the catching coach, and then as the field coordinator, coordinating and organizing and being able to help in different areas, but also learn different areas. Yeah. So as a bench coach, you're obviously the right-hand man of the manager, but you're also overseeing everything that's going on and helping in any way that you can, or maybe seeing it through a different lens that might help some of the new guys or some of the old guys or whatever the case. So all of those things really have led me to put me in a better spot to handle the position I'm in today.
Yeah, 100%. I want to talk to you some as well about relationship building with your fellow coaches and other people in the staff, but also relationship building with the guys. And you're new to them, and it's kind of like a two-way street. They got to get to know you, but they also got to trust you and believe in what you're telling them. And when that comes together, it's really cohesive and it's really beautiful. I think that's starting to take place, and it takes time to get there. But let's talk about that process some.
Well, yes, you're right. I mean, you could have you could have the most knowledge, the best information, the best way to help, but if they don't trust you, you have nothing, right? So getting to know the players as individuals first and foremost, getting to know their families, where they're from. I think that's the most important thing. And I think in due time, when that happens, they'll buy into you, they'll believe you. So then when you do have something to give them, they'll believe it, and they know it's in their best interest, or you're trying to help them, right? But it's all about relationships. It's all about developing them. And the relationships that I have today won't be close to what I have in a week, let alone a month or at the end of the year. So looking forward to it. And it's a lot of faces, right? Like a lot of new people that they're trying to get to know me. I'm trying to get to know them. So that's been a tough challenge. I've been out here for 2.5 weeks now to try to shorten the curve, so to speak, but it's tough, and it's going to take time, and we all know that, but hopefully they're patient, and I know we'll be patient in that process.
And it's a never-ending process.
Oh, gosh.
I don't want you to feel like you're getting too far ahead, because it'll start all over again.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, you're right. It doesn't stop, but it's something that is enjoyable to learn new people and get to know new people, and then also for them to get to know me.
Yeah. Now we're talking about some of your team here. Let's talk about your team at home, your family. Baseball is something you can't do alone, and having the support, at home is so critical to being able to perform, whether you're a coach or a player. Talk some about your family and their influence on you being able to follow your dreams on the field as a player, but now, as a coach.
Yeah, I'll start with my parents. I mean, my dad kind of showed me the way. He worked midnight turn at the post office for like 35 years. So he was always gone, working really hard, coming back, but always taking us to the field or doing stuff with us, and he really showed us how to work hard and how to get after it, and don't take no for an answer. And if you want to be successful or you want to be good at whatever, you have to work at it. So my dad instilled that in me. My mom's also very loving and caring for us, and what she had to do when he was spending some of the days sleeping because he had to go night turn, and kind of raise us, not by herself, but raise us a little bit by herself was super challenging. But she has three. I mean, I have a sister and a brother that. Sister is 3 years older and a brother 1 year younger, that were all super successful, and they did an amazing job. My sister's has a family with 3 kids, and my brother has two brothers, or two sons. So they're around. They're super supportive and encouraging and super loving. Two daughters, 16 and 11, Cam and McKenna, that are in Ohio. Yeah. They're with their mom, but I'm able to get back to Ohio and see them in the off seasons. So miss them dearly, and I can't wait for them to come to Kansas City.
I was gonna say, are they gonna come visit?
I'm trying. Well, their spring break is like at the end of here
Okay.
before we go to Texas, then opening day in Kansas City. So my oldest is in AAU basketball,
Yeah.
so I was trying to coordinate and figure out the time that they can get to Kansas City. It's tough. So we're working through it.
Working through it. That's what you got to do. And you talk about coordinating and balancing being a father and also getting to these new heights in your career. Is that tricky sometimes? I mean, you want to be there for them as much as you can be, but there's also some, give and take there. And I'm sure that's tough, them growing up, and maybe you miss some times that you wish you could have been there, but what's that been like?
Yeah, well, I mean, the last 4 years and then going into this year will be difficult just when you're in the big leagues and you don't have that freedom or flexibility to get away.
Yeah.
Now, when I was in the minor leagues as a catching coordinator, you had that freedom to make your own schedule, get home for the birthdays, get home for the recitals, and see all those little things. That was great. But then the last 4 years have been a little bit more difficult, and it's tough. Hopefully they learn and understand that, I have goals and passions, and I'm willing to work for it, and hopefully they learn something from that.
I bet they're proud of you. I can tell that much just from the get-go. Talk about some of your goals. You mentioned that in what you just said. What are some of your goals for this season, as a leader on this team?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, right now it's really day by day and
Yeah.
making sure that the schedule, along with Vance and the rest of Sweeney and the rest of the guys, just making sure that the schedule was clean, guys are where they need to be, and we're getting the amount of time that we need to get our work in but be efficient with our time. So really it's day by day. Once we get deeper into it, probably a little bit more, but developing relationships, helping guys get better, and ultimately helping Q, help the staff, and hopefully help us win more games. That's the end goal, right? How we get there or when we get there, that's what we're working towards right now.
Yeah, 100%. What else are you looking forward to? Kansas City, the city. How much is your knowledge of the city barbecue? Have you been to the plaza, all these other places? What are you most excited about for the city?
Tell me, as a visitor with the Rays, we would come in. It was either April, it felt like it was April. It was freezing and snowing, or it was 103 with
Yep,
thick
accurate.
humidity. And so I never did anything. I really went to the hotel and I did nothing. So I know nothing about it. Yes, I've heard about the barbecue. I heard the city is booming, it's up and coming.
Yeah.
But I have zero experience. I have no idea what's going on. So you guys, please help me.
We need to get him an itinerary. Can we get on that? Get
Yes,
Hoop
please.
a list of things he needs to do. The museum, you got to go to all these different places, try all the barbecue. I'm sure pretty quick you will have a favorite barbecue spot, and people will judge you based on what you pick.
Oh, really?
Yes, we are hardcore.
Oh, okay.
You can tell a lot by a person by what they say their favorite
Oh, okay.
barbecue is.
What about the best sides?
I mean, yeah, some people go for that. I'm personally a vegetarian, so I have to go with the sides.
Okay.
The mac and cheese,
Yeah.
the cornbread, things like that. But
Okay.
City has a lot to offer. We're looking forward to having you there.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. Like I said, ever since I got on board here with Kansas City, I've heard nothing but great things about the organization, the players, the fan base, the city. It really has been incredible. I'm excited about getting there and being a part of all of it.
We're excited to have you. We're going to end the show with some lightning round questions.
Oh, God.
These are super serious, so get your game face on.
You guys said I get to wave these off, right?
Yeah, no, he's getting a drink of water, you guys. He's getting ready for these hard-hitting questions. All right, number one, are you a dog guy or a cat guy?
Dog.
Did you have a dog growing up?
I did.
What was his name?
Poodle. Her name was Tina.
Oh!
A white poodle. Don't judge me.
I love that. I was just going to say I love that for you. I love that for you. What was your walk-up song? You probably had a couple in your playing time. Or what would it be now, today?
I'm a little bit all over the place with music. I'll be honest with song titles and artists. I'm not that good. So I can't answer that.
All right.
I don't know.
Pass.
Yeah, boring.
What's a moment from your playing career that you still think about to this day?
Probably a couple. Probably that first day, the pinch hit. I got a pinch hit, base hit, my first at bat. So that was really cool. But then also my first start, I caught a shutout, 1-0 shutout. So that was really cool for me too.
Yeah.
I mean the playoff teams in Philadelphia losing. I wasn't on the playoff roster, but losing in the World Series was super cool. That Philadelphia teams in 09 and 10 were really good, and it was fun to be a part of.
Yeah. What was your first car?
Oh, a Ford Escort, navy blue, super small, super ugly.
What year?
I don't know the year.
Okay.
But it did have a cassette player, and I was super excited about that.
A cassette player. Wow.
Oh, am I outdating myself? Cut. We
No.
don't need to say that.
No, we're leaving that in there. Who is one of the most colorful people that you've ever played with? Maybe they're a trash talker, something like that on the field.
I'm guessing. Oh, not necessarily on the field. I was thinking more coaching, but I'm guessing Q probably gave the same answer. And Kevin Cash. Cash. He talks a lot of trash.
Does he?
It's fun. He makes the environment incredibly fun and talks a lot of trash, whether it's to us as staff or to the players. But
everyone loves him.
Everyone laughs about it.
Yeah.
And jokes back because he can laugh at it too, right? So when you joke with him, he laughs at it too. But probably Cashy.
I love that nickname, by the way, Cashy.
Yeah.
That's
it's a cool. I mean,
cool dude.
Goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
He's doing well as the manager.
Yeah. Let's hear about your favorite stadium to have played in. Not coached in, played in personally. Other than the K, which you obviously love.
Of course, other than the K. I never played in the K.
Well, we won't tell everyone that. Obviously, you got to love the K.
Yeah, I love the K, but okay. I think at first it was Boston.
Okay.
Because of just the whole, the old school and the whole thought.
Yeah.
But until I got to Chicago and Wrigley, I think Wrigley is probably my favorite. And obviously going more in the summer, June, July, or a couple day games on a weekend is really, really cool.
Yeah, it really is. When you need to take a load off, relax, the day's been heavy and hard, what do you do?
I mean, I enjoy watching sports. Hang with my daughters. Not much. I mean, I like to work out, Peloton. I'm in a rut right now. Haven't been doing well, but nothing. I'm real chill. Hang out with guys, my buddies, and chill. Watch some sports, football, basketball, whatever it is. Watch my daughters play.
I love it. What is your go-to meal? Like if you have a night off too and you want the best meal, what are you gonna go for?
Are we like good, like best for me or not? Like
no,
naughty,
best
like
for your soul.
pizza.
Pizza
from Steubenville, Ohio. They sell it by the slice. The cheese is like cold, and they put it on top. Don't knock it till you try it.
It's cold?
The cheese is cold. The pizza's cooked. The cheese is cold, but then it melts. It's just a crunch to it. It's incredible.
I never would have guessed that is where the best pizza in the world is.
We don't go to Pittsburgh, right? No, they come to us this year.
Yeah.
Maybe next year. Maybe we take a group down to Steubenville and get some pizza.
Well, that would be great. Let's do it. We'll bring a camera. We can film it. How about that?
That'd be awesome.
What is a misconception about Ohio that you think people should know?
During the baseball season, there's times where there's a lot of bad weather, and I get messed with a lot about the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
I will say at times I question why I have daughters that are in Ohio. I would rather be out here in this weather and enjoy, but I do enjoy the four seasons, and the fall is beautiful. The winter at times is incredible. At times it can be miserable, but I would say the four seasons you can't beat it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that was painless, wasn't it? Thank you so much for being here.
It was painless.
It
wasn't bad.
He was scared, you guys. He was worried, but he killed it. We're so happy to have you here. Thank you for your time. You're going to get some barbecue. You're going to fit in just great.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in Kansas City.
All right, you guys. Paul Hoover, thank you so much for being our guest. Thank you so much to you for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we've got plenty more episodes coming your way. See you next time.